Welcome to the Socialette podcast, where we empower you with the marketing know-how you need to create the business of your dreams. I'm your host, Steph Taylor, and I'm a marketing nerd, Shiraz lover, and passport stamp collector. Join me as I dive into all things small business marketing and deliver them to you in bite-sized, fluff-free lessons every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's get learning. Hello and welcome to episode 58 of the Socialette podcast. Today I'm looking at 5 books that have completely changed the way I run my business. I'm big on reading business books. I think they're an amazing way to learn new things and to see things from a different perspective, whether you're just starting out or whether you're already an old hat at this running a business thing. In fact, even if you've been in business for a while, there's pretty much always something new to learn. When I first started out, I made it my mission to devour as many business books as I possibly could. And even now, more than 2.5 years later, I'm still obsessed with reading business books. I also really enjoy personal development books, and I found that quite a few of these are really good with the mindset side of business because, as you know, there's a lot more to running a business than just the technical side. Before we get stuck into the list of books, I have a pretty awesome deal for you. If you haven't heard of Audible, it's a subscription-based audiobook service. Each month you receive a credit, which can then be redeemed for any book in their library. And they sure do have a lot of them. I think they've got the biggest selection of audiobooks in the world. But anyway, so here's the awesome deal. If you head to stephtaylor.co/audible, you'll get a 30-day trial absolutely free, which means you get to download one book of your choice for free. So any of these books that I talk about in this episode, you can download them for free. And the best part about Audible is that you can listen to it anywhere. Just like how you listen to this podcast anywhere, you can listen to your book when you're driving, when you're walking, when you're on the bus, anywhere. All you need is the app on your phone and you're sorted. So head to stephtaylor.co/audible to redeem your free book. All right, onto the list of books. They're in no particular order because they're all so different. So anyway, here goes. The first book on the list is Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff, if that's how you pronounce it. The book is promoted as an innovative method for presenting, persuading, and winning the deal. And it definitely lives up to this. Even if you're not at the stage where you're pitching to investors or potential clients, the method he sets out in the book is super useful. And honestly, the biggest thing I got out of this book was his technique on framing, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. I will let you figure it out for yourself. It's available on Audible and it's only a 6-hour listen, which might seem like a lot now, but think of it like this. If you commute 30 minutes to and from the office each day, you'll get through it in 6 days. So grab it for free at stephtaylor.co/audible. Second on the list is Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. People are usually pretty surprised to hear that I haven't read Tim's most famous book, The 4-Hour Workweek. Like, I've heard good things about it, so maybe if you aren't familiar with it, it could be worth a read, and it is on my reading list one day. But anyway, so Tools of Titans by Tim is an awesome book. Not just for the business tips, but for like life hacks, health tips, all of that. Basically, it's a compilation of tips that Tim got from interviews with hundreds of different entrepreneurs, leaders, influencers, just amazing people. It's an easy read, so you can skim through it, pick and choose which pages you read, and bookmark your favorites to come back to later on. Unfortunately, it's not on Audible, and when you read it, you'll see why, because it's not really a format they could put on Audible, but it's the kind of book you want to keep in paperback, so you can scribble on it and highlight it and stick post-it notes throughout it. Number 3 on the list is Mastering Your Mean Girl by Melissa Ambrosini. And while this one isn't strictly a business book, it's helped me so much with my mindset around business, in particular with imposter syndrome and all of those nasty feelings that can arise when you start putting yourself out there and you start pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. I read this one for the first time when I was just starting out in business, and I recently reread it and got so much more out of it. If you find that you struggle a lot with self-doubt, self-sabotage, things like procrastination, or you just feel out of alignment with your purpose, you'll find this book so valuable. This one is available on Audible. You can get it free as part of my free 30-day trial when you visit stephtaylor.co/audible. And despite what the name says, it's not just for girls. It's totally applicable to guys as well. So definitely recommend reading that one. Number 4 on the list is Key Person of Influence by Daniel Priestley. And he's actually an Australian author, so I'm all for supporting Australians. If you're looking to build your personal brand and become the go-to person in your niche, this is a must read. Even if you're not looking to build your personal brand, this book will open up your mind to thinking bigger and just dreaming beyond what you thought was possible. It's also a super easy read, and it's got a really simple step-by-step process that you can follow along with. It is available on Audible and it's under 5 hours long, so bonus. Number 5 on the list is The Ego is the Enemy. Or actually, I think it's just Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. I'm currently reading this one right now, and so far I have learned so much. I've always thought that people with big ego were the people who like to talk about themselves and big note themselves, but this book made me see ego in a completely different light. This one changed my business because it made me realize just how many things I was doing in business purely because of ego. You know, like things like trying to keep up or comparing myself to others. Basically, in other words, doing things to save face or to play it safe because your ego really likes to keep you inside your comfort zone. This one is also available on Audible, and I highly, highly, highly cannot recommend it enough. Even if you don't think your ego is getting in the way of your business, you'll be so surprised. I've downloaded a heap of new books to read in the coming months, so I will make sure to do a part 2 of this list once I get through them. Don't forget to head to stephtaylor.co/audible to grab your free Audible audiobook. Next episode, I'll be sharing what the heck content marketing is and why you should be doing it. So make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss that episode or any of the other ones coming up in the content marketing series I'll be doing this month. And if you haven't left a rating or a review yet, I would love it if you please could. It would mean so much to me. Thanks so much for listening. Catch you next time.